Jeremy Barfield at BaseClogger on Twitter. Hope you guys have a great night and a Happy New Year. Now, I want to keep this somewhat short because I'm sure you're very busy and wanting to get to your New Year celebration. So I'm going to get right started here if that's all right. Growing up, you have a baseball-oriented family, your brother Josh, your dad as well. So what was the atmosphere like in your house growing up? Was it very competitive? Was it all baseball? What was the atmosphere like?
And it was, honestly, it was pretty laid back, and it wasn't even all baseball. We played everything. I played soccer, basketball. I was real big into basketball. I got kind of burned out from baseball when I was a little younger, and I just actually played soccer one spring instead. And then I was like, man, what am I doing? Went back to baseball. But no, man, we played everything. It wasn't, me and my brother are 6 years apart, so it's not too much competition going between us, growing up. So it wasn't too competitive. Okay.
So, I mean, you grew up and you attended, I hope I said this right, Klein High School in Spring, Texas, I believe. So what was your overall high school baseball experience or just overall experience, and when did you really start noticing scouts at your games?
Oh, let's see. So my freshman year, going into high school, and I was like 5'8", 5'9", $160, and then I hit growth spurt. Mm-hmm. And so, man, I was okay my freshman year. But then I hit a growth spurt, grew a couple inches, and then gradually, went from 6'2", 6'3", and I really wasn't that good until about my senior year. And then especially my senior year, that's when I started noticing that. I didn't see scouts. I didn't see anything my junior year of high school, and then and then going through my senior year, that's when you get all the letters, phone calls, and all that. And I'm just like, man, I might actually be okay at this. And then, and that's really when I started to get more serious about it.
Okay, so you go through high school, you get in some letters. Sure, there's a lot of colleges wanting you to play for them. And I saw one of your home run videos. Well, I saw a few of them, which you guys should definitely check out. Jeremy Barfield on YouTube if you haven't seen them. I'm wondering, when did you start using that bat flip, that infamous bat flip? Where did you learn it from? And what was your overall most memorable home run in high school, if you can remember?
Okay, so funny you mentioned the college and recruiting. I didn't get recruited by anybody in high school. It was to the point where I only talked to two schools, and that was TCU and Rice. Actually, the colleges didn't even talk to me. So so that kind of turned me sour towards that, because I definitely should have desires to go play D1 baseball. But anyways, with the bat flip, I honestly don't know. Most of the time, I didn't even know I did it. And it was most of the home runs I was hitting in high school was all from my senior year. They were all on the road, so all the fans were yelling stuff, and of course, when you play in a hostile environment and do something like that, it shut them up real quick.
Yeah.
Definitely the one you've seen where the half flip where I threw, I get, 20 feet in the air. I feel so bad doing that, but it's the past is the past. I would never do anything like that now. But it's funny because that game we were actually losing, and it was high school, 6-7 innings. We're on the road, so it's the last inning. We had 2 outs, and I think I was 2 for 2 at that time, and there was runners on second and third, and we were down by 2, and they could, in high school you can just point to first base, you can walk somebody. All you do is just take a base, And third base, I'll never forget, third baseman yelled to their coach because they had the third base dugout, and third baseman yelled to the coach, "Hey, walk him, put him on." And I remember, I'm in the box, I could hear this. The coach is like, "Nope, pitch to him."
Oh, wow. That was bad. That was a mistake right there.
Yeah, so that's the backstory behind that one.
Okay, yeah, that's a great story. And, going into the 06 draft, hearing this, you weren't getting recruited probably as much as you would have hoped for. You really started to pick it up your senior year, go through the growth spurt. So did you have any expectations going into the draft? Did you think you were going to get drafted at all?
Oh, yeah, man. I had scouts, 28 different teams did house visits, so it was crazy. Yeah, man, there were some points where you had 3 different teams do visits throughout a day, like on a weekend during my senior year. So it was hectic, actually.
Yeah, okay, so talking about hectic, I just want to know, like, going into the draft, though, the recruitment process, not for college, though, but for major league teams, were you visiting all the ballparks and doing training for that, or were they were just scouting you at your high school games?
Oh, man, I did pre-draft workouts. I went to, let's see, where did I go? I think L.A. I went to Dodger Stadium. I did a workout. I did a workout at Miller Park in Milwaukee. Did one in Arlington with the Rangers. Did one in Houston. I mean, I made my rounds. I did Orioles workout. I think I mixed in a Braves one too. I went to Cincinnati. I mean, I was going everywhere. I almost missed. Actually, I did miss my senior prom because I was doing a Cardinals workout.
Jeez, the Cardinals are actually my favorite team, but I mean, that's pretty crazy. So then, was there a certain team or a certain city that you wanted to play for going into the draft, or did you not really care who drafted you?
I actually liked. There's 2 that really caught my attention. I like the Brewers one because I just like the ballpark a lot. Obviously, I wouldn't have been there anytime soon.
It's a nice ballpark.
And I like that. And also the one that I liked the most by far was the Dodgers. Going to Dodger Stadium. We did the workout at night. I got to hit BP under the lights, Dodger Stadium, with Tommy Lasorda right next to the cage. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that does sound like it. So a great experience there. But, okay, so you go into the 2006 draft. You get drafted in the 9th round, I believe, by the Mets. What happened there? When did you hear about that? And what was your overall feeling after being drafted?
Oh, man. So, I was in Milwaukee because I had done the pre-draft workout there. And my brother he was in San Diego at the time. It was his rookie year. And they were actually in town. They were in town to play the Brewers, so it worked out perfectly. So I'm in the hotel room with my brother and my parents listening to the draft on the internet.
And you hear your name then? Cool. And then what were the emotions? Are you just all excited, I assume?
Oh, yeah, it was great. The funny thing is, so I get drafted, and then I go see my brother's game that night, and so we're just sitting there with my parents. We're sitting there, behind the Padres dugout, which was cool because my brother homered. And but some craziest thing, some random guy, a Mets fan, wearing a Mets jersey at a Brewers-Padres game, walks up to me, gets me to sign a ball, and then goes about his way. I think the funny thing is, I signed that ball, so that's almost 7 years ago. That ball is still on eBay.
You found the ball on eBay?
Oh, it's still there, yeah. It's so funny. That ball's still on eBay.
That's insane. Well, I might buy it then.
That's the first autograph I ever signed.
Wow, that's pretty cool, though. I mean, the chances of that are pretty slim there, that there's a Mets fan and he knows that you're drafted at night, being at the game, and everything else. So then, you get drafted by the Mets. What happened there? I mean, was it a mutual agreement? Was it just, I'm going to go to college? How hard was that decision? What was that process of trying to sign and then deciding to go to college?
Oh, man, it was a mess. So, actually, my senior year, I actually played hurt my entire senior year. I didn't know how bad I was hurt. My first week in practice, it was on a Saturday, I tore my ankle in practice. And thought I broke it. Went to the hospital, got an X-ray. I didn't break it. It came back negative. So I actually played. I taped it up, braced it up. I played that Monday. So a couple days later, I played. And there were scouts there. I was like, man, I got to play. It's my senior year. I'm not missing it regardless. I don't care. And so I played my whole senior year, just hurt with a big brace. I mean, after the games, I could barely move. Like, my ankle hurt so bad, like it brought me to tears. I played my entire senior year. And, of course, the only people that knew about it were my teammates, but I didn't tell anybody, and my coach, but I didn't tell anybody about it because, I didn't want that to be an issue. I was still playing fine. And then I get drafted, and then we're going through negotiations, and then, we're going back and forth. They didn't want to budge. And then it turns out I probably wouldn't even pass the physical, so they would have got their money back.
Dang. Wow, that does sound like a mess. But Well, did it work out overall? I mean, are you happy with, you went to the community college, got some more experience, I assume, and then you end up being drafted around earlier by the Oakland Athletics. Are you overall happy with what happened there?
Oh, yeah, at the time, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I mean, I ended up, I hurt my ankle in February. I didn't go see a doctor until I went to school. So this is, I go to school in September. I didn't see a doctor until September, and I ended up having to have, like, screws in there in my ankle because it was bad. It was bad. And so then, so I had the surgery. It took me, like, about 4 or 5 months to finally heal. And then I played. I missed, like, the first month of the season, and then I played, did well, and I did not get drafted. So I went from 9th round to undrafted, and I'm just hating baseball, hating life at that point. And then so my sophomore year, I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to play for fun. And that's when I played. That's when I played well, no pressure. And then sure enough, I get drafted by the A's. And the funny thing is, the first time I met the A's scout was when he came over to my house with the contract.
Huh. Oh, that's crazy. So then you get drafted by the A's. You weren't really expecting it. You took the pressure off. You did very well. And then you signed with the A's here, and you head to, if I'm not mistaken here, Vancouver to play for a Northwest League team there. So, what was it like adjusting to playing in the minors for the first time, not only playing in the minors, but also in another country? What was that like?
Oh, man, you know what? Couldn't have been any better of a situation because, I played in Canada, and my dad played in Toronto most of his career, and there was a lot of people. I didn't realize my dad was way bigger there than I could ever imagine. And shoot, that was, 25 years ago, whatever it was, and I mean, people still, oh my God, you just Barfield son. I never got that ever growing up, And so it was actually really great, and I enjoyed it. It was a pretty smooth transition. Played well. I really, really enjoyed it. And it was awesome. That's the best summer of my entire life was whenever I signed and played in Vancouver.
Oh wow! I mean, yeah, I've heard that Canada is just a great country too.
Yeah, absolutely. 19. The drinking age was 19. I was 19 and couldn't do any better.
Yeah. Perfect there. And then so after that, you head to the Midwest League, which I actually lived in your team in that league. So I probably saw you play at one point that year. But, you were Midwest League All-Star. What was your best memory playing for Kane County, and what was the All-Star experience like for you?
Oh, man, it was awesome. I remember the best experience that I had this game. I had a game where I hit 3 home runs. So my first 2 at-bats, I hit a home run. They intentionally walked me my next at-bat, and then the next at-bat I hit another home run. And so my last at-bat, we're killing them, like 13 something. We're playing Burlington. They were the Royals. Burlington Bees, they were the Royals at that time. And I remember 3 for 3 homers, and they brought in a position player to pitch. First pitch swing, and I crush a ball to dead center. And then forget this center fielder, Patrick Norris, robs me. He brings it back, whatever, my 4th homer.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. How does that feel? I wonder how does that feel after you hit something that big and then you end up getting robbed? How demoralizing is that?
Oh man, it's tough. It's funny because I never understood because little side story for you. So King Griffey Jr., one of his greatest highlights is from 1989 at Yankee Stadium. He robs a home run in center field. And, it was the 3rd out of the inning. Randy Johnson's pitching. He robs a home run, just sprints all the way to the dugout, goes back to the clubhouse to watch the instant replay. Well, the funny thing is that was my dad hitting, and it was going to be his 200th career home run. Would have been his he ended up hitting another one that night, so he had 2 that night off of Randy Johnson, but he would have had 3. He ended up getting that 200th career home run. But that's funny because, obviously his was on a way, way bigger scale. But, I never understood that kind of feeling until that happened.
Wow.
And the funny thing is you see that video, you see that highlight all the time. Most people don't realize, that's my dad that hit that.
Wow. Yeah, that's a pretty big accomplishment, especially off Randy Johnson. I mean, it just doesn't happen very much. But and then you played in the Texas League, AA last year, and as a Cardinal fan, I kind of automatically think of Oscar Taveras and Colin Wong. So I mean, how hard was the competition this year for you? I see you did very well numbers wise, but was it hard to adjust to the pitching? Was that difficult?
I mean, I've been in that league. That was my second year, and man, it was. I mean,